revert about the bug. Hello everyone. We ready to start the stream? Hello. All right. There's nothing to it but to do it, so I'm just gonna jump right into it. Today I'll be starting my new, well, it's the first live stream in the new studio. And yes, I need to do something about that door, but it's gonna be okay. So the plan for the stream today is to bring out the kit and then start unboxing it, mostly because I want to see what's in there. It helps give me a visual of what is in the kit, because going into everything like this completely unknown is not a good thing. So I want to try to learn as much as I can. What I haven't done is I haven't looked at the manual. I've just looked at how far it goes. I've printed all the parts. So that part of the manual I did look at, but it's like, that's like normal stuff. So yeah, John Beard, Joe Duck, Gergman, hi. Yeah, so let's just get the kit. And actually, no, let's just have a look at this first. So in case you didn't know, this is the LDO Micron plus R1 kit. So it's the 180 version. And yeah, the Micron, if you didn't know, is a scaled down version of the Voron 2.4. So yes, also I need to figure out why YouTube is translating all of the chats into Norwegian, because that's just super annoying. But that's just like IKEA furniture, just send the build, no instructions needed, do how I feel. I don't think that's going to be a good idea. So my main limitation when it comes to building stuff like this, and I did figure that out with the Enderwire, is that I'm not used to building other people's stuff. I'm used to designing it myself and then building it, or be heavily involved in the design process. So that it's kind of like, yeah, I'm not used to this. But nevertheless, do you look at the printed parts first, or do we look at future Mad Max? Yeah. Do we look at the printed parts first, or do we look at the actual kit first? And I'm gonna mute my computer here. There we go. Someone spoke to me. All right. Future Mad Max. I do like that. Let's just look at the filament. Or do we? I'm not sure. So I went and tried a new type of filament for this project. I've never tried this brand. I've used 3D Jake's services. Like I bought stuff from them before, but never filament. And so I have 3 boxes of parts, and I got 2 different colors, of course. So I have, it's just called ASA Carbon Fiber Red. It's not red, it's more like a brown, but I do really like it. And then I have what's called Neon Pink. And this is just another box of the red parts. So I wanted to go with sort of like an earthy color of some sorts. I was looking into some greens and maybe some like orangey browns, like fall colored. But I just looked at this and I thought, you know what, that is pretty much it for colors. the camera does not do this pink justice. That right there is more of the actual color of it. It's like a hot pink, Barbie pink type. I really like this color. Yeah, so I wanted that like earthy tone, but then a super bright highlight color. And I think that is kind of it. So let's just put these away because we don't need them for a while. All right, let's get the actual kit out. So I think I'm just gonna pull everything out onto the desk and then go through it. So I'm gonna put the box here on my chair. Alright, so first things first, documents inside. It pretty much just gives me the bill of materials for the kit. I need to keep remembering that the camera is the other way around. There's also my serial for the kit. Not my build serial, but the identifier for LDO. Alright. There is the panel kit. Oh, that's heavy. I haven't looked at this. That's the proof. I haven't even opened this. So do I need, I don't think I'm gonna need to unwrap these. These are gonna go on really late in the build, so. But that is all the panels. Let's try to keep this a little bit organized so I don't lose things. Oh, laptop is running out of battery. And Leviathan board. I already have one of these in my Rook Scalable and I really like it. I've done a little bit of 48 volt testing on this, but I'm not going to go 48 volts on this build. This is not going to be like an extreme printer in any sense of the meaning of it. Comes with DIN rail mounts, injection molded DIN rail mounts. Wow, that's cool. So the plan for this is to try to build it as stock as possible for two reasons. Number one, this is a sponsored kit from LDO and I want to give them all the credit they deserve in showing off their kits. And second is that I've never built a 2.4 or a Trident for that matter. The only Voron thing that I've built is a couple of M4 extruders and of course my Enderwire build. So that was all the motion parts. So electronics comes with a screen. That's the TFT43 Pi 4 Model B. AC inlet. Solid state for the bed. Some magnets. A little bit of heat sets. And an SD card. That is all good. Whoever packs stuff at LDO, hey Shrimp Party. Whoever packs stuff at LDO, they have to be like a professional Tetris player of some sort. because they get so much stuff into these boxes and they're completely full. Electronics number 2, I'd imagine that's mostly just connectors and fans, and yeah, connectors, fans, some Wagos, Nighthawks, the USB adapter for the Nighthawk, more fans, thermistor, crimps. It's gonna be fun. I don't have the correct tool for those, but I can manage. And if anyone has anything that they want to have a closer look at, let me know. I'll pull it up and we can have a look at it. So this is the bed. So what's interesting about the size of this is that I'm used to either having really tiny printers, and let's just do this as a to show off the size. So that's the V0 size bed. That's the Rook bed. And then I'm just gonna grab so this is a 256, so bamboo size bed. That's the Cobra S1 bed, but it's the same size as the Bamboo Lab X1, P1, all those. Yeah, it's an interesting size. I've always told people that 180 is kind of like a good size for a printer because it's not too big, it's not too small. It's more manageable. But also, I've never had a 180 size printer myself. I've only had 120s and 250 or Ender 3 size 230. And then 300. So it's gonna be fun with 180 build. Fasteners, I'm not sure if that's the most fun box, but I will be organizing these. I have some bins ready. Hopefully I have enough space. It'll be really impressive if I don't have enough space for those. Cables, and this is the reason why you get LDO kits. That's not a cable, that's a foam tape. All of these are pre-crimped, pre-made, ready to put in. Just put some sleeving on it and it's good. This is the reason why I like LDO kits so much and why I'm so happy to be working with them, because their kits are just plug and play. Even though I don't mind crimping and making my own cables, just that is the one thing that takes more time than it's worth for me. My time is worth more than crimps, so. Linear rails. Oh, I didn't know these were in the kits. Oh, that's fun. So these are for putting in the rails into the extrusions. And I didn't know these were in the kits. That's fun. I have printed some of these to be used with nuts, but I'll definitely be using these instead. It's going to be making the whole build even better. MGN 7. Is it MGN 7 all around? No, that's MGN 9. 7, 7, 7, 7. Okay, so I'm guessing the X. The X is an MGN 9. The rest is 7. Oh, stupid translation thing. Hey, CHL Philia, how you doing? Issue with the kit wiring is you may still want to cut and recrimp to shorten some. Yeah, so for the most part, LDO kits, they are specifically cut and wired to the correct length. I know I spent a lot of time on the LDO kit figuring out the wire length and messaging that to LDO. Like my switch wire kit is a C-bore kit, and on that one all the wires were way too long. I had to cut some. There's a bunch of wires just tangled into the bottom. All right, more motors. Nemo 14s long shaft. I can't read upside down today. So these are 35 STH 52204 AH. So these are XY motors. And I find it kind of funny that it's using Nemo 14s for A and B, but it's using normal 17s for Z. Might be just a cost thing, because normally you would think you don't need giant Nemo 17s if the rest works well with 14s, but I think it's a cost thing. These 1684s are really good motors. I have a few of these in the different builds. I have one right here behind me, actually. Yeah. This is kind of the big box, right? Because it's LDO motors. That's what they do. Let's put that away. Yeah, C-bore kit was too long. And yeah, I do agree that if the kit isn't put together in the sense that LDO does it, so that you get the right length of wire, it's annoying having to bunch up a bunch or even have to cut super long cables that didn't need to be that long. I would rather just have them be the correct length and then a little bit of margin. Like you could add that much to it so that there's a little room to move. So extruder, this is using the G2A. And that is the motor. Focus. Come on. There we go. So 36 STH 21004 AH. So for the toolhead stuff, I haven't even printed toolhead parts. I need to pull the hot end out of a different machine. If you didn't know, the kit does not come with a hot end. So, but that is okay. I have a Thetis Next G to go in this. I'm waiting on being able to order an index and 2Z changes. Oh, nice. Yeah, index is something that I want to look into at some point, potentially on my Rook Scalable. And I just realized I don't know which color these are. Does the box say? Yes. Okay. And also that gives it away. So thin rails, and I'm gonna be honest, I've never looked at 1515 rails before. They're super small. Adjust my mic down or up? I'll be happy to do that. I just need to know which way. Up. Well, that might be a problem. Let me see. bit of a boost on it. Let's see, let's add a 30% boost. Standard rig with 4 tools. I mean, if I could do that, that would be fun. But yeah, I do have my Rook scalable. It's not working at the moment, but that'll be another stream. I'm gonna need to get... Oh, it's turned around in the shirt. Yeah, that's true. How about I just do that normal thing that I do? There we go. And I'm not sure why, but YouTube is translating everything, and it's not fun. Not sure what's happening here, but I mean, I do understand both languages. It's just annoying because I want to read the actual messages and not just, you know, the Norwegian translation. That's the AC wire. We don't need to look at that. Okay, down. Alright. Alright. Yes, madame. Alright, that's back down to normal, I think. So this is the one that really has me hyped. Out of all the LDO projects, or products, I should say, I mean, the Leviathan is cool, but this is a feat. To get this to be this small, it's just amazing. I do actually like this more than most things. So it's AC in, and then there's 24 volts and 5 volt out, which is a little bit ironic because this build doesn't actually need that. It won't need the 5 volts, but it's still really cool, and the size of this is tiny. So it's 270 watts, 275 watts of 24 volt, and then 25 watts of 5 volt. That's 300 watts of power in that thing right there. And do I have anything to compare with? Yes, I do. Let's just compare with... Oh, hold on. That. This is a the power supplies from the Rook kit and the Delta Flyer kit. And just look at the size difference. I mean, 200 watts, 300 watts. It's amazing what kind of magic have they done in this to do that? I don't get it. But I will enjoy it, that is for sure. Alright, so that's all the parts. Now the plan for the rest of the stream is pretty much just to go through mostly the hardware, trying to organize it, and then start looking at the printed parts after that. So I have this box, and I'm gonna put that there. And I do realize that these are visible, but there's not much I can do with it. Alright, so where's that fastener box? Fasteners, there we go. Let's put that away. Print a Steppy. Oh yeah, that's that little fidget toy that LDO has. I'm definitely gonna print that. Can I just do that while we do this? Give me a sec here. Yeah, I know that there's more efficient 300 watts that are smaller, but they're also way more expensive. Yeah, the Seaborg kit box has become sort of my project box. If I'm working on a printer, I'll either get a tray like this, or like I have a bunch of different ones. These are mostly makeup trays or inserts from old boxes and stuff. This one is really nice. So what I've done, normally there's a list of all the parts. I've just taped on a piece of paper, and I'll be able to just write down whatever is on here. Let's have a look at getting that Steppy printed. Oop, Steppy. Steppy, there we go. LDO Steppy by Jason from LDO. There we go. Let's see. There is that. So what color do I choose? I don't have, actually no, I have colors. Or should I just print this? No, I don't want to do ABS. I want to do PLA. Alright, let's see. Actually, no, I'm going to do what I should have. I'm going to do any cubic slicer, and I'm going to dual print these. Dual color print it. It'll take longer, but it'll look way better, and I'm going to dual print it in the same color as the project. The Micron is going to be. Alright, so let's add in the Steppy, and then I'm just gonna have to paint some of it. So let's see what Jason has done on his. So he's just done the middle part in black. Yeah, let's do that. But I'm not going to use black. I'm going to use let's see, I have 3 colors on there, only 2 of them I need. That one is ASA, where are you? And then this one is ASA carbon fiber. So that one is correct, and then this one is going to be like a dark brown-ish thing. So let's color with doing that. Yeah. Should I do this? It'll highlight the logo way more. Probably just gonna add a lot to it's an hour and a half print. Yeah, I'll print that. That one is that guy. Of course, that's the annoying part here. Can I set it to ASA on the printer? Let's see. It's ABS glass fiber. That's kind of it's one of those super annoying things where I'm gonna have to use ASA profiles for ASA carbon fiber, but that's, you know, Anycubic, not surprising. It's not preheated, so we're gonna have to keep an eye on it. Don't need to level the bed. All right. That is going. Yeah. All right. So let's start looking at the parts. Put that away. And I can put that away. So these DIN clips, I can put these in my larger organizer. And I'm gonna sit down. It's important to stay hydrated, especially because it's super hot today here in the cold of north. And when I say super hot, I mean average, but for me it's super hot. Alright people, so what do we think of the new studio setup? Now keep in mind, that is not my normal camera. This one is the good camera because, well, I'm doing this for today, so. Wiping thing, ECAS couplers. Oop, one more thing, sliding nut. Those are so tiny. Where did I put my knife? I've got more knives. Let's get rid of that. And have a look at all these. Now ideally I want to get this in like the correct order. So there's going to be M2.5 here, right? So M3 by 8, that's going to be a double. It's my favorite size of bolt because it's tiny but still good enough. Oops. M3 nuts. Let's wait for those. Let's see, M3, M3, M3 washers, M2.5, self-tapping. Let's just see what, 35C. I would die in 35C. What is the temperature? Let me check. So in the room right now it's 24, outside it's 17. So 24 for me is hot. Hey, Raj. There's just some noises for my Cobra S1 in the background there, but it looks to be okay. M3 by 10, I think we can confidently put those there. M3 by 6 by 0.5 washers. 35, let's see. So there's both SHTS and BHTS, so button head and hex, or normal hex heads. Brass standoffs, that's probably for the Leviathan. 35 in the UK. Oh, Christ. I would not survive that. M3 by 40 and 5 nuts. 5. Let's just put all the M5s away for now. Set screws. There's some M2 by 12. Those are tiny. 3, 2, self tappers. Okay. Yeah, the humidity right now in this room right now is 57, so it's not exactly comfortable, but it works. I'm not suffering, I'm not dying, but it's not. Would I rather go downstairs and crawl into my refrigerator? Yes. Am I gonna do that later? Yes. Rolling T-nuts. Why are there roll-in T-nuts for 2020s? That's interesting. M3 by 6. Okay, so let's start off with M3 by 6. And then M3 by 8. Let's put that in there. Uh, 33 in London. Sheesh. Yeah, let's just all agree that when this stuff is over, when my stream is done, we're just gonna crawl into a freezer or a refrigerator for a little while. And yes, I do realize I'm complaining about 24C, but I'm a big guy and I live in a cold country. Anything above 20 is too hot. Anything above 10 is shorts weather, so. Alright, so 8, 10, 16, so 12, M3 by 12, M3 by 12, but there's BHS and SHS, so that's okay, I can put those there. So that's 12, so that would be 16, I guess. Yes, 16 there, and then 20, that one, and that one is 20. And then 25. Just open that up. 25. And then 30. Yeah, I do like the Cyborg box. I wish LDO would do something like this, but I also acknowledge that this box takes up way more space for shipping. I mean, because, you know, that's the C-bar box, and it didn't come with everything in it, even there was a little bit extra. and that's the LDO box. This makes sense on a shipping level, but this makes more sense in terms of convenience for the builder. Alright, 35. And then 40. Alright, so that is the that's the M3s. And then let's look at some M2s and M2.5s. There's a bunch of M2x6s. M2x12. Let's put in another divider here. And then M2.5x6. That can go there. The self-tappers can go in. Heat sets will go in down here, and then hex nuts can go in there. There's a grand total of 8 M5s in this entire build. Put all the M5 stuff in one place because there are so few of them. So these roll-in T-nuts have me perplexed. Why are there 2020 roll-in T-nuts in a 1515 kit? Is there like a single 2020 in this kit? Some standoffs. I'll put those to the side there, and then these shims can go in. There we go. We even have some space left over if we need it. So I'll go through and write down all of this later. And that's not stream stuff, unless people really want me to do that. PCB didn't click the 4 pieces. Alright. That was the organization part of the fasteners. Let me just put that away. And put this away. Yeah, those are perplexing, but I'm sure we'll get to them at some point. Let's see. Just trying to figure out what to do next. So, printed parts. So now would be... Is there a point in me sorting all the printed parts? Because I still don't know what I'm looking at. I have no idea what part is which. Do I just start looking at the manual and then maybe do some heat sets? Because I can quickly set up my heat set station. Well, I say heat set station, it's just a soldering iron. I'm gonna quickly just have a look here. So let's have a look at this guy. Yeah, frame first. Does seem like originally designed by Hard K, Micron Plus is a compact, community-driven flying gantry Core XY printer inspired by the Voron 2.4 and supported by an active community of builders. That is true. I'm in their Discord. I'm not active in their Discord, but I do read some of it. Oh, nice, Raj. So, Raj, are you building the LDO kit or self-source or another kit? Designed to be fully enclosed and capable of printing engineering plastics like ABS and ASA, which is the main reason that I wanted the Micron. So toolhead is one of those things that I have not decided on. Oh, John is building a 2.4 LDO kit. Nice. Review the tools and materials required for the build. Having the proper tools prepared and a clean workspace will help ensure a smooth assembly process and prevent damage to components. So I need ball and hex drivers, 2, 2.5 and 3. Check. Wire cutter, triple check. I got like 6 of them. Self-source, yeah. Nice. Yeah, so the one thing that I haven't decided on is toolhead. I know there's parts for the G2A and I want to build a G2A. I'm considering the Jabberwocky, and then there's also the ant head. I think that's what it's called, the ant head. Because that is the ant head, so might just go that route. Wire stripper, yes. A crimping tool, I have several. Measuring tape, I have that. Thread locker, I do have that. I don't have it in here, but I can get that in here. No, I do have it in here. Yes. Grease, I have grease. Flat build surface large enough for Micron Plus to comfortably sit on. Ta-da! Oh. Recorded the build and the PC crashed and lost footage. Yeah, I was in that situation. If you've seen that video, I was supposed to go to an event to film and make a whole video. I had this really nice, well-produced video in mind, and then I lost 5 days of footage, and it broke me. A reference square, check, and the digital calipers, check. Alright, so we have all the tools. Print parts overview. This is the part that I have read. So those are all done. Just have a look at the little steppy mat. Each providing a slightly different selection of components. This manual is written specifically for the LDO Micron 180 kit, which includes many pre-selected high-quality components. Because of this, some parts, wiring layouts, and assembly steps may vary slightly. So hot end, I know what I'm going to use. I'm going to grab I have a Fadus Next G in one of my books. So I have Yeah, like I said, yeah, the next G with the extender on, I'm gonna put that in this kit because it's a really high-end, nice hot end. I'm just gonna put a TZ 2.0 in that Rook, just because I don't need a fancy hot end in that Rook. So yeah, I've started doing that a while ago, saving everything to my NAS. The main issue was that I was on that trip, so I didn't save to my NAS. I just had everything on my laptop because I edited the files, and then the next day all of that was gone, the files and the edits. It was just all gone. I tried giving I gave my laptop to the this was a LAN party. I gave my laptop to the hardware support guys, and they tried for like a full day to get my stuff back, but it just wasn't possible. Bed probe, that part I'm not sure of yet. I do have a cartographer that might be cool to use in this, or a micro probe. So I'm thinking cartographer should be the best option. I'm gonna have to look into that and get it. So if I need to order something, I need to figure out the bed probes quickly. So if anyone has a tip for bed probe, because the ant head seems like the best solution. I think this kit comes with everything for the ant head. Gugman's building 5 ant heads for a simple core. Nice. Yeah, so no, not simple core. Why did I say simple core? Anywho, should I just go with the cartographer? I've had it since the cartographer, because I bought this when that was launched. Is it still good, or do I need to get a new one? BB's 3D, hello. Printed parts, I have those except the toolhead printed parts. I'm gonna have to, I'll probably put those on after the stream, but I need to figure out that probe part. Button head, cap screw, flat head, countersunk screw, SHS, self-tapping, hex, heatset, post installed, T-slot nut, hammerhead nut. Alright. Yeah, you should, BB. I mean, I'm in the... My whole thing about if you want to build a printer, do it. But, of course, that does assume that you have the means to do it. If you don't have the means to do it, don't do it. But if you do, build it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go and find my cartographer. I have no idea where it is. It might be in one of my boxes over here. Actually, let's. I'm gonna take a quick look. Actually, yep. First thing. So this is an older one. I'm not sure how to tell them apart. Does it say it on there? Let's do that. So it doesn't say anything on it if it's a pre-flashed for CAN. That's no worries. Not sure what this cable is for, but okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out the Anted GitHub. Yeah, my box doesn't say anything. It just says thanks for your order and then the QR code for the instruction. It's probably a V1. Just looking at it, it's probably a V1. I'm not sure what low profile means or anything. So here's the thing about me and this thing. I saw it on, I think it was Rolahan that sent me a message about this coming up for sale. And then I just went to the website and bought it. I had no plans to use it for something. I just wanted to buy it because it looked interesting, and then I forgot about it, and it's been in one of my drawers. Yeah, so kit. So can I use this, or do I have to get something else? That is my... Get V4, V3 or V4? Yeah, let's have a look at... Let's see, how do you write this? Cartographer. Probe. Cartographer 3D eddy current V4 shipping now. So I'm gonna have to get the low profile. 53 bucks. V3 is... So V3 is like 40. I mean, V4 looks really neat and like all in one. Yeah, I'm just gonna order a V4. I'll figure out what to do with this. I mean, I'm stupid enough to put this on anything, so I know I have it now because I USB version. Yeah, so it says if I look at the low profile, what am I just doing? So I'm thinking about this low profile USB and CAN, and it comes with. Will ship with both USB and CAN cables, and will be flashed with USB firmware by default. So you can change this to CAN easily. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna go get that, and this cartographer might go on my scalable, or even on a Rook. I do have Rooks that can use it. Or heck, even my my switch wire. Ooh, forgot this part. Because I have forgotten that I had this, and I just found it when I was clearing out the old workshop, so give me a second. I need to send a message. Give me a small second. V3 and V4 have touch for Z offset. Oh, nice. So, would you get the V4 or the V3? Considering the V3 is like 13 bucks cheaper. What's SGD? Because isn't he US based? Oh, Singapore dollars. Okay. I can change that, right? Let's see, I can set it to USD. Oh, not Argentina. I can set it to ship to Norway, USD. Yeah, so 40 US for the B4 low profile. And then there's the 3. Low profile, both Canon USB. It's $10. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna have to look into that after the stream, see if the NTED is supported. We have time. I have time. Let's see. Printers for Ant, GitHub. Oh, there was a direct link there to NTED. Okay. Compatible hot end. Over on repeater TZ V6 with or without V6 nozzle. That is okay. BMG extruder kit or G2 extruder kit. So I know that the hardware in the LDO kit is meant to do NTED, so I might as well just go NTED. I don't see a reason to do anything else. Let's see. Is there anything here about? I have the parts for the leaf cutter. I will be installing it, just cause might as well just do it. Alright, so this manual doesn't really cover what is needed here. Okay, that's a cooking recipe. User mods probably the right way to go. CNC mount. CNC mount would be cool. I think I'll just print one to start off. Yeah, it looks like I'm just gonna have to do some more research. Maybe I'll reach out to LDO or just Hardk to see if he has a suggestion. But that is a future problem. Let's start looking at the manual. The correct manual. This manual here. So all the parts, that is okay. The frame is the foundation. So all 1515s. I'm gonna have to clean the rails. I'll do that off camera, but I can put the frame together. I'll just put in all the nut stuff. All right, let's have a look at the let's have a look at the frame. That's a good place to start. So this is the gantry rear X. I'm not gonna need that for a while. I'll just put that away. So these are 250 and 265. Yeah, 250, 265. Let's double check. Yep. So there's one of each. No, there's one of that. I'm just gonna put that back into its sleeve. Put that away. So we know the verticals are the long ones, right? There's 4 of them. That's 3 of them. That one. So verticals, those are easy. These are probably, yeah. So whatever there's most of is the top and bottom horizontals. And then the bed. Okay, so that one and that one are smaller. That one and that one is bigger. Hey, Reverend. Yes. It will be a fun build, hopefully. Alright, so that is the extrusions. So that is X, and that is X. So these are the X gantry, front and rear, and then the Y are these 2. So that's the flying part. That's going to be down the line. I can put those away. And then all of these are horizontals in bed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This does not make sense. These are 280. I'm supposed to have 10 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 of them. But there's also 2 of these. there's 310. These are not listed in. These are not listed, and these are not enough. So I'm guessing these are for the bed. Because if I have, I'm just thinking right now, so that is the full printer build. No, that, so that is full volume, and then that will be overlapping the front and the back. Yep. So yeah, 310 is for the bed. What threw me off was the manual here lists horizontals and bed as all being 280, but the bed are 210. That does make sense. So that is okay. So I have 4 verticals and 8 for the frame. Let's just put that together to a frame. So what's some kits include bed extrusions mounted with blind screws. These 2 extrusions will be longer than the other 8 extrusions. Yep. So what hardware do we use to put together the frame? Also, I need to remember to put in the stuff for the linear rail kit. Yep. Noticed. Alright, so the LDO kit comes with these for the rails. So I'm going to use 4 of these, and the other 2 are for the which axis is that? The y-axis, of course. So let's just put these in like so. I think I'm just trying to give myself a little bit of a plan. Oh, that's the wrong ones. That were supposed to go in here. I think I'll try to keep the stream going for as long as I can. So I want to get this done and then look at heat inserts. I need to clean the rails for Z, so I can't put those on, but I can put these in. Alright, so that's the verticals, and those are horizontals. Are those M3s? And I'm immediately perplexed because it doesn't say. Okay, M3 by 8. There we go. So M3 by 8. Let's get that. I need 16. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Probably just do so all of these horizontals gets one of these. Alrighty then. I'm gonna try to avoid electric screwdrivers for the stream, just because of the noise. But at some point, my hands will start screaming for them. So. So let's grab a little bit of drinks. I'm a little bit not sure if there's a word for it, but I have mixed feelings about 1515 because everyone that I've spoken to about building with 1515 says that they're a pain in the place where the sun don't shine. But at the same time, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, wow, this is tiny. If this is as good as it is on paper, because I've looked at the strength specs for 1515, I'm more than willing to do a printer based on them. The initial idea for Rook 2020 was Rook 1515. But then everyone we spoke to said, don't do it, just use 2020. I mean, the V0 uses 1515, so it can't be that horrible, right? So now these should all face inwards. And I really should have printed a thing for this, but oh well. Yeah, little fidget toys coming along nicely. There you go. Let's just keep going. I'll go back, double check all these fully when it's all put together. I need to go grab my my glass top that I use for this. That is at the old studio, so I'll figure that out later on. Get this roughly in shape. Yeah, so I'm using these, even though I did print everything. So I have everything printed. We'll take a look at that next. I've printed multiple different versions of some files as well, just so that I have it. The only thing that I haven't printed are the is everything toolhead related, because I wasn't sure what direction to go on that yet. But I think we have decided on end head with a cartographer. I think that'll be a good solution. Doing some final adjusting here. Screw is just super difficult to get in. Not sure why. The lower extrusions needs nuts put in for skirts and the din rails. Alright. Yeah, I do have the printed parts. So that is not a problem. Thanks for the heads up, though. I didn't know about those. I'll probably sit down and read through the entire manual after the stream, just so that I know what I'm going into. This first stream is done for two reasons. It's to test my streaming setup and trying to get organized. So anything other than that is just a bonus. All right. Also, let's turn off there's a feature on this camera that messes with the focus. There we go. It'll always try to look at whatever is closest, so. At this point, I could probably just do that, can't I? Yeah, it's just me doing this anyway, so. Building this frame tells me two things. It tells me the size of this, and that tells me how much space do I need to allocate for this printer. And right now it's looking like it's not that much bigger than a Rook. I mean, it's a little bit bigger than a Rook, but not too much. Move the overlay up to cover the light. Sure. Let's see, where is it? I'm just gonna do this live then. This guy here, I'm just gonna select all of it. Where's my keyboard? Where's my keyboard? There's my keyboard. I'll just move all of these up to here, like so. Let's go back to that. There we go. Thank you, darling. Everyone say hi to Galio. She is the reason I have this studio. All right. That's the printer done. And then the bag goes on. Bag pieces go on like that. Yep. That looks great. So for size reference, let's have a quick look at that. Actually, I do think a Rook is about the same size if you look at the whole thing and not just frame size. So I'm just gonna do that quickly, and then so here is a Rook, and if I do that, the top of the Rookery is exactly the same height as the spring. And then from the side, let's see, put that side here. Okay, so I can now safely assume that the Rook 2020 fits inside of this entire frame, which means a normal Rook Mark 1 fits entirely in that frame, and that should mean that the Rook Mark 2 fits inside this frame. There's no reason for me to test this, but yes. You know, now you know, folks, if you have one of these frames, you can put your Rook inside of it for no absolute reason at all. It would be fun, though. Alright, let's get back to this build. I'm going to put the frame away for now and start looking at the printed parts. Yes. All the shenanigans. Both me and Galio have the same thing about live streams. I don't mind hosting a live stream. I do mind watching a live stream, unless it's something that I'm super into. I've watched a couple of people build my projects on live streams. That's about the extent of my attention span, so the more you know. Yes. Alright. I'm gonna have a look at the thing here. Is there a thing about heat sets? Is it just repeating everything? It wants to put the DAC panel on early. Nice. And DIN rails. Alright, the DIN rails goes onto the panel. Oh, it gets mounted to the side of extrusion. Yeah, Gergman, I do the same, but I usually just do it with like interesting YouTube videos or playlists, documentaries and stuff. Yeah, Gallia has a mental disorder. She needs to put everything on 2.5, and I don't see how she is able to absorb that, but that's all her prerogative, I guess. Okay, so these heat sets are already in, but I haven't seen anything about putting in heat sets. Okay, so I guess putting in heat sets. Corporate training. Yes. I guess I'm just gonna have to figure out all the heat sets. So then the question becomes, do I just go through all the parts and look for the right size holes? So let me not make you completely. Oops, not enough. There we go. So I'm just gonna have to go through, look at all the parts, and figure out which ones need heat sets. That's annoying. So what I can do is I can just scroll through, and whenever I see a heat set, I'll put that in, and then go through the manual at the same time. That'll give me an overview of what to expect. Okay, so that is a heat set. Let me see if I can find that part. Next box. See they need heat sets. Alright, so oh, I didn't see that it said alternate color. Agree, Galileo, that is how my brain works too, as you know. But I'm not able to keep up with 2.5 speed. I can do 1.5, but no. Alright, let's get the heat set thingamajig. You think this looks like an old cutting board? Yes, it is. It's a cutting board that I made in elementary school. Alright, let's put some power to this guy. I'm gonna have to do something about this thing, because in my old workshop I needed really long wires for everything, but here I don't. So having this clump of wires is annoying. Alright, so let's turn that baby on. Yep, this light is lighting. Let's find the heat sets. All right. I'm just gonna use this guy. So should I maybe do that and then that? Alrighty then. That's one done. I have no idea what the temperature on this soldering iron is, so alright, next. I've not seen these hubbed gears. They're supposed to be printed. They're not in the STLs. Oh, there's more of these. I'm gonna have to print those hubbed gears then. Let me make a list. Let me grab some paper. I'm just gonna type, not type, I'm just gonna write down the parts that I'm missing. And it's called a underscore 64 teeth. Hub gear. Oops. All right. Noted. So, yes, my dear, you did offer to do this, and I know that you like to do this, but I also like to do this, and I feel like this is part of the build, and therefore it needs to be included in the build. To me, that makes sense, at least. Do I need to add a little bit more light? Alright, so that's those 4. Alright, main body AX2. So I'm trying to figure out which one's which. Okay, so there's A and B, they're mirrored. Makes sense. I mean, it's super easy for me to just grab my phone and turn the lights up, so I'll do that, and I'm gonna have a little bit of drinks. Cheers. Yeah, the zooming in on a camera like that will need more light, so I has done so. Okay, so these 4 holes on the top here, on all of these gets heat inserts. All right. That's 1. I'm trying not to throw them everywhere, but and hi Nappen, by the way. Hello. How are you, my Swedish friend? Another benefit of a smaller studio, less place to look when you drop screws. Yes! And also, I did a thing when I put in this workbench. I sealed the bottom of it so things can't roll under it. I'll probably do the same for the printer rack. It's like a 5mm opening there. That will catch something, but I'll probably try to seal everything. I'm also considering getting some better flooring in here. Because it's concrete and it's rough concrete. So if I could get maybe like some vinyl flooring in, that would be nice, but it would have to be super low cost. If I want to, I can do that. There's spaces in this workshop where if something drops, I'm never gonna get it. I'll have to disassemble part of my setup to get stuff out. But I will fix it eventually. Yeah, rubber pads are on my wish list. I was gonna buy some, but my budget didn't allow for it at the time. But hopefully down the line I'll get the opportunity. It's just not #1 priority right now. Alright, so that is the main body parts. Shaft assembly cover. That's an alternate color. Let's see, can I find it? This guy. There's supposed to be 2 of them. It's probably 2 per side, right? 2 A's and 2 B's. There you go. Yeah, so that's the other side of the shaft assembly. Okay. So these gets one in the side, right there. I'm noticing that I'm not used to working and streaming, because I would much rather be doing this really high up to my face. But this works. At least I have a good camera. Is that a lag in the music? That should not be possible. Alright, next. I'm gonna have to check, because if these are 62mm hub gears, or 64 tooth hubbed gears. I think I have some that are metal. But also it would be really cool to have set in pink, because it's calling out alternate color. So let's look for more heat sets. Gantry assembly. There you go. Where's those heat sets? Are those heat sets in this part? Oh, right there. Those are not easy to see. There we go. Oh, that's not the right one. There you go. These are tiny. Not the easiest to work with. All right. Let's look for more heat sets. Let me see. Let's have a closer look. See if I can find them. So these are the front parts. just cannot remember printing those. Oh, nope, there we are. This guy. So are these meant to have heat sets? That is my question now. Because in the manual, they do go through there. Let me double check this. Did I just say heat sets? Yes, I did. Okay, so in those parts, there are heat sets. So this is the part that I'm confused about. Are there heat sets in this part here where it attaches to the rail? Or is that... No, that's probably nuts. Let's look at where these mount to the gantry. They don't call out any fasteners, or there's no way this attaches to there. Assuming, actually I don't really know, I'm confused. Gonna have to look at the CAD, I think. Yeah, let's keep looking for heat sets. So in my brain, these guys have heat sets, these lower parts. Is my mic low? Nothing has changed on the mic. It's been, unless something has changed on the mic, I can't see it though. I can turn it up. That should be a little bit more. And hi John Doe. Yeah, let's see. So I'm confused because, well, the manual doesn't really call out heat sets anywhere. So what I'm gonna have to do is just find all the parts and see how they go together, and then try to add parts or add. Oh. Oh shit. The filament is jammed. Oh, that fixed it. Mic very low. I'm not sure, because on my end it looks the same. I can boost it. Let's see. I can boost my mic a lot. That's 140%. You can't hear me at all. That is strange. Because I've boosted both my mic and OBS, so I can always turn it on. I mean, it has to be on your end. Do you hear the music? Because monitoring the audio on my side, it's just fine. I cannot. If I increase the volume anymore, the mic just blows out. I mean, it's been fine this entire stream. If you can't hear the music, then yeah, so yeah, try refreshing the site. Let's see. That makes sense. Hello, Hellboy. M3 by 35. Let me just grab an M3 by 35 quickly and check. How far does it go? Yeah, so yeah, Gallo, I boosted myself both in OBS and my microphone. So if I were fine for you earlier, then right. So I can't see how that's gonna reach. And I keep dropping this thing. So what I'm looking at right now is this M3 by 35. If I put that in, so the part's gonna go like that. Then it's a counter, it's sunk in. Okay, it does go all the way through, which means this this needs heat sets. Yeah, I still have some stuff to figure out on the audio side. I just do not believe that it's too low. Music is swinging in and out though. When you talk or make sound, it's louder, but when you're quiet, it's loud. That should not happen. Why? Because there's no filters on the music. In due time. Oh shit. Hey Joe. Yeah, the audio's been working since we started, so I can't see any difference on my end. It's good. The main issue that I'm having is that if I do anything any louder at this point, I start clipping, which means my mic's maximizing. It's maxing out. But I'll be able to go through it and look at it after the stream. I can pull up the VOD and then have a look at it and compare it to my other content. Because my content is using YouTube's volume settings. Yeah, so my music is both really slow and really high tempo, so that is something I could look into, maybe getting some other music. That is an option. No, the mic is in the same location that it's been for about 2 years. So it can't be that. Yeah, so tool head and extruder in the manual is the anthead in WWG2, so I'm going to use that. Alright, so electronics, all that stuff I can look at later. For heat sets and stuff, I can add that. Right, that's how far the manual is right now, so. Alright, and of course the first thing that I'm gonna need is something I don't have, which is the 62 tooth pulleys, because they were not in the printed files. Let's see. And I'm gonna wash all the rails. Some kits include machined gears. I'm gonna check out the kit here and see if they're in there. Ate my mic. Alright. Motor kit. That is not good. Electronics. Motion. It might be in the motion kit. Let's turn off this guy. Oh, there they are. Aha. Maybe I should get this over to a better container. Oh, it's not that much. There's a bunch of pulleys and some bearings. Ooh, it comes with screwdrivers. I did not see that. Well, those are going on the bench. Some shafts. Zip ties. Alright. Well, I'm at the point where I can actually start assembling parts. So let's just do that. I'm going to start with the Z drives, because I can put them together and then put them on the frame later. Let's see, I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. I can do a little bit more. Let's get this out of the way. Right. lights down a little bit. They're super bright. All right. Let's put this thing together. Motor. We should probably just use the LDO screwdrivers, right? Super nice. All right. Put these aside. 16-tooth pulley. All right. I'm gonna need some set screws. Don't know why I did that. I only need 4, but oh well. I need 8. I can't count. You guys probably need set screws too. The only weird thing is that there's not enough set screws for all the pulleys in the kit. Not a huge deal, I have set screws, but strange. Is there like another bag of set screws somewhere? Yeah, I have run out of set screws and it's not even enough for this. What is wrong? Gonna have to let them know about that. Yeah, these have thread locker on them already. Yeah, so that was all the set screws that came in the kit, and it's not enough for the Z drives. Let's see, what do I have? I have lots of pulleys that I can just pull set screws from, but I'm pretty sure I have just set screws in one of my boxes here. Yep. Let's see here. There's the thread locker. I don't know why I put that much thread locker. I need one bolt. Oh well. Alright, let's just toss that before I smear it on something. Huh. That is strange that the closing that lid was higher than my voice. So 9.5. What? That's weird. But okay. I'll adjust them later. Thanks, John Doe. I'll see if I can figure out the audio stuff. It's super weird because it works for some people and it doesn't work for other people. All right. Next step. M3x8 BHCS. I'm gonna need 4 for each of these. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, let's see if I can figure out the orientation of this stuff. So that goes there, that goes there, and then these go in. I'm not sure if I can continue just using screwdrivers. I'm gonna have to swap to using my electric screwdriver. Building a, let's see, what's the translation? Building a Rook 2020 Mark II from an old Ender 3 Max Neo screen. Oh, universal CAD part, sorry. Hey VIP, yeah, that sounds like a fun project. So the Rook parts were designed specifically to be simple so that it could get people to modify and have fun with them. We didn't want people to be scared of too advanced. There's nothing wrong with too advanced, it's just that Rook was made to get people into building, so I'm glad you're having fun with it. So you're just scaling up the Mark II, or are you building a scalable? If you're, I'm just assuming that you're using the Ender 3 Max bed, but if not, then yeah. My arm is not happy right now. To a drug print, yeah, that's sort of the whole point of it. Let's swap to electric and using my fancy LDO bit set, you know, because I can. Hopefully that sound isn't too bad. If it is, let me know and I can just turn everything down. This is why I hate M3 button head. Oh, nice. Yeah, if you're going normal scale, then yeah, makes sense. So does the Neo still have the brass pulleys that are fused to the shaft of the motors? There is a simple way to fix that. There's a printable tool that lets you just pull them off. Nice one. Yeah. All right. Something to drink. Cheers. All right, that is those 4. So I don't need to do this step about making the pulley. So I need 5 by 47mm D shafts. Let's have a look in the kit. There's 5 by 50. Cheerio, me Sophie. Okay. And now back to that issue that I don't have set screws. So I'm gonna have to grab from my little set. Red locker. Yes, filming makes everything take a lot longer. It's a lot of extra work. But it's also the reason that I set up this new studio, so that I can be more efficient. Because I can change camera angles really, really fast. The one thing about filming stuff that most content creators won't let you know about when you start out is that you often build something and then completely tear it down and then film it afterwards. Which is what I've started to do on some things, not everything. and it's super frustrating, but it does make sure that everything works when you get down to it. But a lot of extra work. I'm just glad that I don't have like the super fancy filming like video style. I don't think I'm able to do that. I have my video style of just filming what I'm doing and then putting together a video, but adding all the B-roll shots. B-roll is something that I'm not good at, and it's not a focus of what I'm doing. I try to avoid it. Alright, so I'm just gonna put that on there. And then 27.5. How much is 27.5? There's my thing. So 27.5-ish. What's that? Yeah. Alright, so now I need to make all of these match. And that's actually quite easy because I can just do that. Oh, wrong way. Let's use the first one as a guide. Let's fix this first one before the thread locker sets in. Oh, it's gonna be a while. I think this is a 24-hour one, so. Oh yeah, I've done that. If you go back and watch my LDO Rook, no, my Fabrico Rook build series, about half of it I had to redo because of me being a big boy and blocking everything. I feel your pain, friend. I feel your pain. I feel like I'm gonna have a thin layer of thread lock covering my fingers after I'm done with this for today. Yeah, this one's bad. Way too much thread locker. Get some. Oops. Let's hope. Yeah, I didn't unplug my mic. Alrighty then. Next step. Okay, so some bearings. I need 625 bearings. 695 bearings. 625 bearing pieces. Let's see. I do realize that I don't need to have all the printed parts right there, but they're not in my way, so. And then some shims. And 5x8x1. So it's this guy, 2 of those, and a bearing. And then that goes on to this guy. And then a shim. And another bearing. And then tighten that down. There you go. So that goes into, all right, I'm going to do all 4 of those. So there's 2, and 1 of those, and that guy, 1 more, and that guy. There we go. Then clock that. There we go. That's 3. Add some thread locker on it. Let me wipe that off. All right. 1 and then bearing. I have not, VIP. I tend to not keep up with printer projects in general, simply because I have enough stuff in my head already. I don't need other people's influence. Moran is 0, but Dennis. I'll put that onto my list of things to look out for, though. Alright, so belts. Okay. Not sure if it makes sense to put the belt on right now, but that's what the manual does. Yeah, that didn't make sense. Alright, let's get this out of the way. So now that goes into the blocks. So pretty much just building 4 of the exact same thing, but 2 of them's mirrored. Like so. Alright, so that one goes in. Oops. Missing a part. One of these shafts did not like it. There you go. Yeah, that doesn't work out at all. And that's with the measurement being correct. Alright. I think I'm just gonna put in all the parts and then tighten the set screws. Alright, so now I can put in the bearing, the pulley, that pulley, then push that in as far as it goes. Alright, VIP, have fun. It's a little bit tricky. There we go. It's 2. Should probably focus on getting the belt in as well. Dang it, I'm so smart. Put the belt in. Almost messed up. All right, that's 4 of them done. So now it's the cover. I'm assuming I need to, yeah. And that goes on with 3x8. Four, 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 and four. I'm sorry about the loud screwdriver. But my hands are killing me, so. And there we go. All right. So I need those two. That. Where's the last one? That is confusing. I can't find that last one. There we go. That's the right one. Yes. All right. Starting to look like something. M3 by 25. And these are SHCS. There you go. Yep, I'm missing heat sets. Were these visible and I just missed them? No? There's no heat sets in there. Yeah. There's nothing showing that these needs heat sets. Let's grab that thing. Turn that on, and while we wait, we try to clean up a little bit. Alright, I'm just gonna need to do something on my laptop. Alright. Is it hot enough? Two, 4, 6, 8. I will say this ASA carbon fiber is really nice to work with. Alright, that's done. Put you away again. In. Here we go, that's one. Here we go. Now I assume, yes, so these are going in that way. And these washers. Let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8. It says M3 by 7 by 0.5. These are M3 by 6 by 0.5. Oh well. SHCS M3 by 20. Did these just go straight into plastic? I mean, it does look like it. I'm just gonna take one of these off to make sure. I don't want to be in that situation of having to disassemble the entire printer just to get these out and do it correctly. Nope. You just need another heat set. Alright, come on. I want to get these done. It does annoy me that there's no heat set guide in the manual. That is frustrating. one more. I should probably heat up the heat set tool. All right. 8 more heat sets. 4. 4, 6, 8. Yes. All right, that's done. All right, let's put this together again. last one. Alrighty then, now we go back to the step, mounting them to these guys. I see one thing that I'm going to change here. I'm going to put in some extra washers. Because I have the correct size ones. Two, three, four, five. These are so hard to pick up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's gonna give me more surface area. I don't have to worry about destroying the printed part. Go. How long I've been doing this now? 3 hours and 40 minutes. Yeah, I'm getting close to my limit. Alright, let's see. I'm assuming I tighten these almost. Do not tighten yet to align alignment in the next step. And then there's an M3 by 16. Okay, yeah. So I pretty much just screw these almost all the way in. And that was all the way in. Pretty much. M3 by 16 SHEX. But why no washer for that? Oh well. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna need to make sure the belts are in the right position. Yep. Alright. So get this in and then check the belt and then tighten. Yep. And tighten. Check the belt. There you go. And tighten. Screw first. All right, we have all the Z drives put together. That is nice. So to finish off the stream, we can put together the steppy. Let's fix that. I'll be honest, I don't know why there's 2 machine screws in this kit. There's no holes for them. apparently there is a multi-part. Yeah, so there's a multi-part, and that's why there's bolts included, but I can just print a single one. This is gonna need some hammering. There we go. Hello, Frieden. I'm about to log off, actually. Just wanted to put this little trinket together that came in the LDO kit. But I think that's going to be difficult for my fat sausage hands. Oh, or can I do it? Can I do it? Yes, I can. There we go. All right. So let's summarize what we did today. We put together the frame. Roughly. I'm probably gonna have to adjust that. I need my flat level table that I don't have here. And then we put in heat sets. Not all of them, because they're apparently hidden. And then I put together the Z drives. So these are the gearboxes that handle the Z axes on this printer. So that is it for this stream. This was 3 hours and 50 minutes, which is right around that 4-hour mark that I like to end my streams if I get to it. So I'm gonna tidy up the place and then I'm done for the night. So have fun. If you like the stream, if you want to keep up, make sure you're subscribed to get notifications. Yeah, I don't have any social media stuff. I have a website. Maybe that's for you, canrog.com. All right. Until next week, because I'll be coming back on Thursday again to do this one more time. One of many. All right, people. Bye-bye.
Unavoidable debug.